Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
Okay, then we are at the end of the season, which means it's time for our guests to pick their Premier League teams of the season. Now, we asked HP and Chunkz to send in their teams ahead of the show, so we can now see the agreed upon selections, the players that both of them picked in their teams. As you can see, there's 4 players they differed on, but Ruben Diaz, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Ilkay Gundogan, Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford, you all agreed on those 7 names. Chunkz, I want to talk to you about those 3 defenders in particular to start with. Ruben Diaz, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw. Nobody else getting anywhere near it? John Stones potentially coming close?
Yeah, no. John Stones definitely coming close. I feel like Diaz looked as good as he did because of the fact that he could rely on the defensive partnership with John Stones. So John Stones deserves a shout, but he just wasn't getting ahead of Harry Maguire for me. So I have to put some respect on Harry's name and match up Harry Maguire with Ruben Diaz. Luke Shaw as well has been excellent, but then you've had Chilwell and Cresswell played very well this season as well. But yeah, I reckon Luke Shaw was just a bit better maybe.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, let's look at the attacking areas. We're going to have a little reminder of the attacking players, Harry, as well, that you've both picked, so we can see the team. Just a little reminder of the players that you've both picked. I want to ask you about the attacking players, Harry, that you've both gone with. So Fernandes, Gundogan, Rashford and Kane. Harry, again, were those 4 easy picks for you?
Yeah, very easy. I think Gundogan has been arguably City's best player, the best performer for me, goals, assists, all-round play. Fernandes, I mean, there's not much we can say about him. We've been talking about him all season, about how effective he's been for United. And in Kane's role, for me, has been absolutely unreal. It's a shame that he's at Tottenham, no pun intended, but he's putting in some crazy performances, goals and assists. And Marcus Rashford, not only is he feeding the kids, but he's also feeding the players to score. This man can do everything. Marcus.
I like your Marcus Rashford answer. I didn't like your Harry Kane answer. I think, in particular, do you feel like I feel like the wide areas? I've seen a lot of people pick their teams of the season, and the 2 sort of alongside Harry Kane, are they the sort of toughest positions? Because there's a lot of sort of wingers or attacking midfielders. Was that one of the toughest areas to pick where you've gone with Rashford? But there's a lot of contenders in that role, isn't there?
Yeah, there's Son. Actually, to be honest, there's only Son. If I'm being totally honest, I think. For me, like on that side anyway, Son has been the only player alongside like Marcus Rashford that I think has been very, very effective on that side and problems for me personally when I've been watching them.
I can't believe you're saying that, HP. I can't believe you're saying that. And do you know what? I want to bring in Chunkz' team here because I know already that he's got another name in there that you have not just mentioned. Let's bring in Chunkz' team with the missing wide man, Chunkz Salah. HP has just said that Salah will be nowhere near it.
I don't know why. To be fair, it's probably a mistake. He just probably forgot about Salah because to say Salah nowhere near.
I didn't.
So you're doing stuff.
Performance-wise, this is the problem with everyone, because when Liverpool weren't playing well, everyone was highlighting people's performances, and Salah was one of them, about how, it's not the same Liverpool and whatnot. He's had a great spell in terms of the last few months or whatever, but can you say that his performance this whole season has been the same as it was previously? No. I'm looking at players that have actually effectively changed their team's performances. You know what I'm saying? So Rashford got his team to second place. Liverpool are trying to get into the Champions League. So, I mean, look, that's how I look at it, performance-based. And I think Salah's had a good season, but I think, for me, Rashford was a better goals and assists. You know what I mean?
Salah is top scorer, equal with Kane. You know that Salah is top scorer currently in the Premier League alongside Harry Kane.
I did say assist as well, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm just saying. A lot of people would have Salah there. I'm just saying, just pointing it out. Where do you stand on that, Joe?
Let's have a look at the rest of Chunkz' team, by the way, because there was 3 more players that they differed on. So Mo Salah, of course, we've already spoken about. Mason Mount, what a phenomenal year he's had, Chunkz.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it was like you got players in there that do it for the stats, and then you got players in there that are just constantly playing solid every single game. And that Mason Mount, that's a shout for him because I feel like, honestly, not only there's obviously bias in there because he's a friend of mine, but the fact that he's actually an incredible player and he's been, in my opinion, Chelsea's best player because he's given you constant 7, 8 out of 10 performances minimum. And yeah, he's been incredible this season, and to be only 22. And bringing in that performance for Chelsea, I think, he had to be in the team out of most consistent So it's definitely, for me, Mason Mount, and he deserved the shout in there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's a fantastic shout. I think the other couple of names you differed on, Joao Cancelo. I can't believe Harry didn't put Joao Cancelo in his team. Chunkz, for me, he's been one of the best, if not the best fullback in world football this year.
Joao Cancelo, bro, the comfortability he's given Pep Guardiola. This guy is the most technical right back I've seen. With the ball at his feet, he could slightly play centre mid if he wanted to. Like, he's such a great player. And he's even given like Pep this new lease of life in terms of the fact that they can play this new formation where he kind of just sits in that centre mid right side position, and he just is. I can't lie to you, bro. And the fact that he was not playing for the first 2 years or however long it was, and now he just randomly got into the team. And they've got, in my opinion, two of the best right backs in the league, Kyle Walker and Joao Cancelo. I don't get it. I don't know how that makes sense. So yeah, Joao Cancelo for me has been absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, and then the last one you differed on was obviously the goalkeeper role. You've gone for the man who you sold in the summer.
Yeah.
I think that was a mistake now, Emi Martinez.
No. For me, I can't lie. It was a bit vibesy because obviously now we've got Edison in there, 18 clean sheets. Obviously, you've got that defensive that unit at the back. So I'm not going to give him too much credit. Then obviously, second for me was Mendy. Mendy should have maybe gone in there because of the fact he had 16 clean sheets. Yeah, I think Edouard Mendy was incredible this season. But then I think Martinez, the only reason I put him in is because he's got Aston Villa. He's playing for Aston Villa and he still managed to keep 14 clean sheets. Like, that's amazing, like, to manage to do that. And I feel like that's why they're so high up in the league, him and Jack Grealish, of course. So I just felt like he deserved his respect and I put him in there. But if I was to make a serious team, I'll probably put Mendy in there.
Oh, okay. My word.
So that is Chunkz' team. Let's get on to Harry's team. So, Harry, this is your team of the season, the 11 players. We can have a look at now. So the differences, just to confirm, the differences for the team, you've gone with Edison in goal. You've gone with Walker, where Chunkz had Cancelo. You've gone Grealish, where Chunkz had Mount. And you've gone Foden, where Chunkz had Salah. So let's have the keepers. You've gone with Edison. We all know he's a top keeper. I want to talk about the Grealish over Mount. I thought Chunkz made a really good point there, actually, about how we can sometimes get bogged down with stats. I mean, Grealish has got 10 assists and 6 goals. Mount's got 6 goals and 5 assists. But I think you made a really good point, Chunkz, about actually, if you look at Mount's performance throughout the season, he's constantly on the ball, and the way that he plays, it's not always just about goals and assists and contributions. It's what else they bring to the team. Why did you go Grealish? Obviously currently injured. HP, talk to me about that one.
I'm looking at his performances up until he got injured. You said 11 assists, 6 goals. Anything that was going positive with Aston Villa was through him. I think Jack is an absolutely fantastic football player. I think if he wasn't injured, it would have been solidified that he would have been in the team of the season. I feel like we haven't even seen the prime of Jack Grealish, and this is what he's achieving so far. I think Villa have had a great season, and like Chunkz said, Emi Martinez, Konsa, and I think for Jack Grealish have been the most important players for them. So that's why I selected him, and his performances have always been 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, he's a top player, Jack Grealish. I think we can all agree that. Foden over where Chunkz put Salah is what you've gone with. So we're looking at both of them. Salah, 34 appearances, 21 goals and 4 assists. Foden's only started 15 Premier League games, but has featured in 26, has 7 goals and 5 assists. So talk us through why you've gone Foden in the area where Chunkz has put Salah.
Yeah, because obviously with Salah, again, it's the stats, the 20 goals. That's all I'm hearing from people. But when you've watched Phil Foden, we've all watched Phil Foden. You've seen how he contributed to the game. And for me, when City took over and they started playing really well, I think it was him and Gundogan that was the most important players for them. We've seen it play. He's not scared against any team, any player. He's a big game player at a young age, and I think what I can see is the future, and I can see it in Phil Foden, and I don't think there's been any faults in these performances this season, apart from him being young and a little bit inexperienced. But when you see him play, you don't see a kid that's phased of the moment, and I think he's integral and part of the reason why City are champions, are going to be successful this season. So it was a personal thing for me, but also I feel like it's justified.
There'll be a lot of fans from teams not in the top 6 as well that will say, obviously, these are often, the top 6. A lot of times, teams of the season have most of the players from the top 6. There's a lot of players, and I think of someone like Thomas Souček, for example, 326 duels won, 210 aerials duels, 9 goals and assists, loads of man of the match awards. Someone like Thomas Souček, for me, should be definitely in and amongst this conversation. Do you think that if you're not part of the top 6, you're at a disadvantage when it comes to making a team of the season, Harry?
Definitely. I think we all do it subconsciously. It's not really like against him because he's had an amazing season, but it's just the consistency of team performances. And these players that we've all mentioned, I think, have been consistent throughout the whole season as a team, whether individually or like I said, as a team. So Souček's had a great season, but when I'm looking at Kyle Walker, I'm looking at Harry Maguire, I'm looking at Diaz, I can't compare Souček's season to those players. And that's the only reason why.